Now, in this video, I'm just going to be sharing with you a concept that I learned from one of my mentors, this guy, Myron Golden, that completely changed my life. And get your pen and paper, you know, and take notes, because once you learn this concept that I'm going to share with you and apply it, your life will never be the same. Okay, so before we dive in, make sure you subscribe, follow, and like this channel. I'm going to be sharing a lot of content that will help people like yourself to really take it to the next level. So on my channel, as you probably know, I like to share useful tips on how to be productive and make extra income. So if you have a 9 to 5, if you want to make more money, I usually share a lot of tips around different side hustles and things that you could do. But also with that, I also like to teach concepts that can actually help you get to the next level, like this concept that I'm going to be sharing today. So the concept I'm going to be sharing today, like I said, I learned it from Myron Golden. He is like the GOAT when it comes to helping people increase their income. He really focuses on helping entrepreneurs like me, speakers, coaches, authors, really increase their revenue. And his superpower is really helping people make 6 or 7 figures per day. Yes, you heard me right. He has this framework that really enables people to then make certain moves that allow you to make 6 or 7 figures a day. In fact, I have his book with me. I carry it with me everywhere, right here, Boss Moves. In fact, a link for this book is going to be in the description below. So make sure you go grab a copy of this book, because in this book, he talks about the 4 moves you can make if you want to increase your revenue for your business significantly. The concept that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today in this video is called the 4 levels of value. Now, Myron Golden talks about the 4 different levels of value, and I'm going to go through each level of value and explain to you what that level is, what's required to be within that level, but more importantly, which are the levels that you want to operate in. So are you guys ready? Great. So the first and lowest level of value, meaning that if you operate in this level, you're making the least amount of income. So we don't want to be living in this level, but I'll share with you guys in a minute, is called implementation. So if you're an implementer, right, you're exchanging your muscle and your time in order for you to make money, right? So let's think about this for a moment. If you're flipping burgers at McDonald's, right, you have to be physically there to do it, right? You're using your muscles to do it, but you're also being paid on an hourly basis. You're exchanging your time for money. So as a result, you're going to make the least amount of money in the 4 levels of value, mainly because you're using too limited resources. Right, your muscle, or i.e. your strength, is limited, right? You can only work for so long in a day, because you're going to get tired and you need to rest and things like that. But also time is limited, right? So you can only work X amount of time per day, or in fact, we only have 24 hours in a day, which then limits your ability to generate income, because if you can only work 8 hours and you're being paid $8 an hour, the most you can make on any given day is going to be 8 times 8, which is 64, right? So that's the lowest level of value, because you're just implementing a process that someone else created. So using the same McDonald's example, you're implementing a process that someone in the corporate office created to say, like, hey, when this order comes in, this is what you need to do to give it to the customer. So if you really want to create financial freedom for your family, for future generations, you're not going to really get rich operating in level 1, right, as an implementer. So let's go on to level 2. Level 2 is a unifier, also known as a manager or a supervisor. Now, what unifiers do is they're basically managing or supervising implementers. So at McDonald's, there's like, the shift manager or a team lead or whatever, And their job is to really just make sure that the implementers are doing what they need to do. But again, you're exchanging your time in order for you to make money. So your income generating potential is going to be limited, right? Because the person you work for will only be willing to pay you X amount of dollars for your time. So you make a little bit more than the implementers, but you're going to be limited in terms of how much you make. So if you're working at a McDonald's, maybe you're making $40, $50, $60,000 a year as a unifier. Or if you're working for like a Lockheed Martin or like even at the corporate office at McDonald's as a senior manager, you're probably making $250,000. But that's it, right? You're exchanging your time and you're unifying skills to make money. So that's also limited because you can only supervise a certain amount of people, right? You can't scale it, right? So because of that, you're limited in your income generating potential. So that's the second level of value. Now, where things start to get really, really exciting, and what I would recommend you try to focus on getting is level 3 and level 4. So let's start with level 3. Level 3 is a communicator. So unlike a unifier or an implementer where you're using your strength and your time to generate value in the marketplace, as a communicator, you're obviously using your communication skills to generate value within the marketplace. So what does this mean? Let's think about Beyonce, right? How much money did you think she made last year or even this year? She's doing this Beyonce tour, right? She's printing money, right? And all she's doing is she's communicating a message to the audience through her songs, right? And as a result, because she's making a lot of people happy, she's communicating her message to millions, if not billions of people across the world, the universe is also paying her for that value handsomely, right? So as a communicator, you get paid more. So think about actors, right? Actors get paid good amount of money, especially if you're A-lister, right? You're being paid millions and millions of dollars for a movie. If you're a speaker, right? Some keynote speakers make north of $100,000 per keynote, so you want to really hone in on your communication skills because as a communicator, you can write a book, right? So what Myron Golden did is he wrote a book, he communicated his ideas in this book, and he's making money in his sleep, right? So he doesn't need to show up, punch in the clock in order for him to make money. He's already written this once. So one effort in writing and communicating his ideas in this book, and now he's selling tens of thousands of copies of this book from one effort. So that's why as a communicator, you have the ability to learn more, right? So we're talking about Beyonce, right? She probably wrote a song once, right? She writes a song once, but she's able to, share it with the world multiple times on repeat, on demand, and she's not even there, right? So that's why as a communicator, you're able to generate more. It's super important for you to also improve your communication skills because if you're a really good communicator, you now have the ability to clearly articulate your vision. You can clearly articulate your goals with your team and get other people bought into that vision to then actually help you create something big. If you're a business leader, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're someone who's really looking to create something, valuable in the marketplace through a business, you want to hone in on your speaking skills because if you go on stage and you speak, you could be paid for the keynote, but more importantly, you can also attract people to join you in taking whatever vision and dream that you have and making it a reality. So that's number 3. And the earning potential as a communicator, it's in the millions, right? We spoke about Beyonce and what she's making. And there's so many other people who are not singers, but they're really good communicators that are making millions and millions and sometimes even billions of dollars. You think of people like Tony Robbins, talking about Myron Golden, and a whole bunch of other great communicators, either through books, on the stage, in different media formats. They're making a lot of money. Another person I'll just use as an example is Mr. Beast, right? The YouTuber. He's communicating on his YouTube channel, and as a result, he has a lot of followers and is making a lot of money on the YouTube ads and in other forms that he's monetizing his content. So that's the power of being a communicator, is because you have the ability to monetize your content. And whatever you're communicating in various means. Now, the last level, which is the highest level of value, and this is the level that you want to operate in, is being an imaginator. Now, the cool thing about being an imaginator is that you're using two very abundant resources to create wealth. And what are they? The first one is you're using your creativity. So let's use Elon Musk as an example. What if we could have cars that use a battery instead of gas to drive? And that's how he imagined Tesla, right? And then so the first thing is creativity. And we all know that creativity is abundant, right? You can come up with 1,000 ideas or even 1,000,000 ideas if you wanted to. We're opposed to time, right? Time is limited. So if you're an imaginator, you can come up with so many different ideas that you can go out and implement. But then the second piece that you need is money. And we all know that money is abundant. Well, it might not be common sense, but it actually is, right? Money is abundant. That's why you can create wealth. So now when you're using two abundant resources to generate income and to generate wealth within the marketplace, you're not limited, right? Because take a look at Tesla. It was an idea that he took and then he got investors involved, and now it's a multi-billion-dollar company. Apple, same thing. Right now the market cap for Apple is about 3 trillion. But there was a day that it was just an idea that Steve Jobs and his co-founders had. But now, because they were able to take that creative idea and bring in money, now they're able to create a $3 trillion company that's changing and transforming the world. So for you, what you need to do is you need to figure out, if you're an implementer of a unifier, how can you be a communicator, and also how can you be an imaginator? And there are two ways that I would like to recommend. So if you want to be a better communicator, I actually have a workshop called Free to Fee, how to become a paid speaker, that you can sign up for. So the link for the workshop is below, and it's a free workshop where I'll be sharing 5 secrets on how you can become a paid speaker. So that's number one. And then number two, the other way where you can then become a better communicator and also you can become an imaginator is by really looking into what are some of your passions, some of the things that you're really good at, and then figure out how you can start communicating those ideas. Or if you want to operate in level 4, how can you now really take those ideas and figure out how you can get resources in terms of investors and other things to actually bring it to life? Because when you do that, you're now able to create value. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you grab a copy of the book. The link is below, like I said. And also, if you want to be a better communicator, the link to my workshop is also below. So I'll see you guys on the other side.